Good morning, Cindy Weber here for a brief yoga practice that will be done completely on our mat. It's to open our heart up so that we can let more gratitude in. Props you'll need today: if you don't have blocks, just go ahead and grab a pillow of some sort. We'll be using that at the end of our practice. But just set your props aside once you've got them. And let's find our tall, dignified posture for yoga. Tailbone centered and down, and then pretend someone's standing behind you, lifting your skull up higher. And rest your hands palm down on your mat. Let your eyes float closed, and take some time to tune into your breath. And now let's try expanding our breath. If you would, take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, and breathe deeply, way deep down into your belly. And then your chest, and then let go. Feel them both shrinking away. Inhale, fill your lungs up way down in your belly. Exhale, relax. So you'll notice your belly pushing forward, your chest rising. And do one more breath, just like that. And then let your hands rest down on your thighs once again, palms down. And let your breath float naturally. I don't know about you, but during this COVID-19 novel coronavirus time, one day I'll feel really centered and grounded, and the next day I'll feel very ungrounded and just let my thoughts run wild. And today's practice kind of brings us back to that grounded nature of our being. There's a lot to be afraid of right now, but we need to keep our light lit so that we can help others during this time. This yoga practice will help you grow that light inside of your heart even brighter. Let's set an intention for our practice as you bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let your thumbs feel your beating heart first. Let's go ahead and set an intention for our practice today. Perhaps you have one already. If not, let's send the attention of our intention to those on the front line, our first responders, our medical professionals, people that bring food to the grocery stores, those who produce it, manufacture it, and those distributing it, that they may all be safe. And those with COVID-19, this novel coronavirus, may they recover and be well in body, mind, and spirit. And also for those who are feeling alone or lonely during this time. Maybe set an intention to reach out to someone different each day who you know is living alone. Let's deepen our breath. Let your hands float down. As they inhale up, float the arms up. As you exhale, let your hands float back down to the earth. Sigh the breath out your mouth. 2 more. Last one. And then let your hands land wherever they may. And take a few more natural breaths without trying to change anything. Just being breathed. And then if you'd like to transition to all fours with your eyes closed, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, make your way there safely. And if you're on your meditation cushion, just push it aside for now. And once you come to all fours, be sure your hands are underneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips, toenails relaxing on your mat. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, round out your spine and draw your nose towards your navel. And do a few more cows and cats. Any way that feels good on your spine. Just noticing those areas that maybe feel a little tense and breathing into them. And then find your neutral spine, somewhere in between your cow and cat. And take your knees out a little bit wider. Big toes float together as you send your weight over your heels for a child's pose. Now, if child's pose is uncomfortable for you, this is where I invite a pillow or blocks in. You can put one block on each leg or your pillow back there and then come forward. And if you're still not very close to the ground and you have a block, this would be a good spot for it. Because we all look different in this pose, so don't ever try to force anything. Maybe nod your head or rock your head side to side. And then we'll set our props aside. And bring your hands back down, knees come back in, tuck your toes under and pick your knees up and just pedal out your feet, pushing one heel down and then the other, just doing a little down dog stretch here. I'm not gonna stay here long, just want you to stretch a little bit. Make sure those calves are long. I don't know what you did before this, but my husband and I did a 2.5 mile hike. So this feels really good. Good. Make your way back down to all fours. Relax your toenails once again. And bring your forearms down to your mat. And then walk your hands forward for puppy pose. And now as I'm stretching out here, I'm trying to pull my hips back just a little bit so I deepen that stretch through the shoulders, through the heart space. Breathing deeply. And now come forward onto your elbows. Put your palms together and take your thumbs to the base of your neck here. And then drag your elbows on the ground as you bring your weight back. And stretching out through the shoulders, breathing all the way down. And breathe into your back body. You can let go of your hands now if you like. Just let them rest on the ground or at your sides. Palms up, relaxing through the shoulders. Breathing in on the back body. Exhale, let your front body sink down toward the ground a little more. Letting go. This is a great pose to come to whenever you're feeling vulnerable or just need to be alone with your thoughts. From there, we'll walk the hands forward and come all the way forward onto your belly. And then push yourself up into Sphinx pose, so elbows are right underneath the shoulders. Take a tall inhale. As you exhale, dig your elbows into your mat. Take your elbows back behind you as your heart reaches forward. And then slowly let your chest come all the way down to the ground. So it starts with your abdomen and work your way up your chest until your forehead finds your mat. And that pulling action is stretching out the lumbar vertebrae. Perhaps you can feel that stretch as well as I can. Push yourself back up, and if you enjoyed that stretch and want to do it again, you're welcome to. Otherwise, let's slide our hands back by our chest, pushing away just a few inches, drawing the shoulder blades together and down your spine. And then exhaling down. Maybe the next time you go a little higher. Inhaling up, exhaling down, and if you want to do a little snake side to side action on the way down, you're welcome to do so. 2 more at your own pace with your own breath. From there, push the ground away, send your weight back over your heels. Another child's pose or embryo pose, anything that would feel good to you right now. I just want you to stay here and breathe into your back body. Inhale, feel your shirt lifting up, and as you exhale, let your belly soften down toward the ground. Now walk it forward once again, coming down to your belly. Bend your right leg and see if you can reach back and grab your foot with your hand. If you can't, maybe you can grab a hold of your pant leg or put a strap around it. If you have a strap or a belt, you can always pause me and come back. And then we're going to try the left leg too. So grab onto that foot as well if you can. If not, a strap around both legs works really well. Take an inhale. As you exhale, push your feet into your hands, lifting up, opening up across the chest. Bow pose. Stay here for 5 deep breaths into your back body. And slowly lower your face down to the mat. You can turn your head one way if that's okay with your neck, or the other way. Keep holding on to your feet or chin down or whatever works for you. Just don't hyperextend your neck too much. Take a big inhale, pulling the foot towards your seat. As you exhale, take your tailbone back behind you and then down toward the ground. So you feel that pelvis bone trying to reach down toward the ground. That's going to stretch out your quadriceps. And then release your legs. And from there, we're just going to flip over onto our back. And before you sit all the way down, grab your blocks or your pillow. And make sure they're accessible to you. And I'm going to show you how to use both of these when the time comes. Let's sit up tall. Flex your feet, arms reach forward. Lean back with the flat back and then hollow out. So you're lowering down 1 vertebrae at a time. And then bring your right knee into your chest. Take it gently across your body. And let that knee come all the way down to the ground. Reach away as you look away. And then as you inhale, float that hand up above your head. This is a great shoulder opener. Exhale, hand down towards your bottom. Inhale, open back out to the side. And as you exhale, come back onto your back. And then turn and look away from your legs. Take 5 deep breaths way down into your belly and your low back here. Twisting poses are so great for relieving stress. So try and incorporate a twisting pose into either your morning routine or your evening routine. I'll often do these in bed just to give the back a little stretch in the morning or in the evening. And after 5 breaths, come onto your back. Make sure you realign your spine by picking your seat up and then lowering it back down. Take the left knee in as you stretch your right leg long, and take that knee across your body. Reach away, look away, let your knee come all the way down, and then float that hand up above your head and down towards your bottom, and then back out to the side, bringing that shoulder down to the ground. We're reaching away and looking away from our leg. Deep breaths here. And after 5 deep breaths, float onto your back. If you have a pillow, I'll show you how I'd like you to use that. Or if you have a bolster, go ahead and grab that. You're going to place the bolster or the pillow close to your bottom and then lay on it the long way. And let your arms float out wide. So what we're doing here is opening up across the chest, the pectoral muscles, getting them to relax as the shoulders open wide. So that's one way to do it. And when you are ready to come off of that, which isn't yet, I'm just coming off of it. You can roll onto one side to get off of it. I'm just coming off to show you how I'd like you to use the blocks if you have them. So the first block will be the long way, but it's shortest height, tucked in to your low back. Now I've got a little ruptured disc in my low back, so I have to be real careful here. And you want the top of the block to be right below your shoulder blades. And then the other block goes underneath your head for a supported fish this way. If you get there and go, oh, it doesn't feel very comfortable on my shoulders because you're kind of have a short torso like I do, turn it the other way and just make sure it's lower than your shoulder blades. Yeah, that feels better to me. So whatever feels best to you. So this is opening up our rib cage. It's opening up that space around your heart as well as the pectoral muscles. And the shoulders tend to go forward in times of stress, don't they? So let's take deep breaths way deep down into our belly, into our low back. Maybe even trying to spread the ribs sideways as we breathe. And you can stay here as long as you like. In fact, you go ahead and stay. When you are ready to come up off of this pose, oh, and by the way, I didn't tell you, you can have your legs straight if that feels better to you, or bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. You can also rest a pillow under your knees, or maybe let your knees drop together in case you fall asleep here. That would feel great, wouldn't it? So much of life spent going forward, and it's hard to find poses that really open you up, but this is one of them. So when you're ready to come off, push that ground away or roll off onto one side, but you don't have to come up yet. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit more here at the end of our practice. Wherever you are, think about your heart space. Think about that little light shining in it, and maybe growing it a little bit brighter with each breath in. Each breath out, your body relaxes a little more. I'd like you to think about what you're grateful for in your life today and always, and leave you with this quote. One small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. My heart to yours, friend. Namaste.